For many Christians, this week marks the Holy Week as we prepare for Easter Sunday. We remember the crucifixion and death of Jesus, and we celebrate his resurrection. In the U.S. and many other places around the world, this is an occasion marked with steadfast reflection, prayer, worship, and fellowship. However, it's easy for us to take for granted the ability to worship however we would like. In far too many corners of the world, that freedom of religion is nowhere to be found. In the Middle East, right this very minute, the extremist self-proclaimed Islamic State is attacking Christians and destroying sacred religious sites. In the very land where Jesus once walked, Christians are becoming extinct. From Iraq to Syria to Egypt, Christians are under attack because of what they believe. The city of Mosul in Iraq paints a clear picture of the threats posed to Christians. In 2003, over 35,000 Christians lived in Mosul. Today, that number's down to almost zero. Imagine being faced with this demand: all Christians must convert to Islam or face execution. For Christians in Mosul, that was the reality. As a Judeo-Christian nation and the greatest force for good on our planet, our nation has a moral responsibility to combat Christian persecution. As the Christian communities in the Middle East and Asia continue to be decimated, we cannot turn a blind eye to this injustice. Apathy is not an option. From Congress to the White House to the State Department, the U.S. must reaffirm our commitment to religious freedom around the world. Last year, Congress passed legislation to create a special envoy responsible for helping ancient Christian communities and other religious minorities who are under attack in the Middle East. Months later, the Obama administration has still not filled that position. It's a symbolic reminder of how the U.S. is refusing to confront the brutality of Christian persecution. The ability for people to exercise their faith without fear of retribution is the key to a stable democracy which serves our national interests abroad. But let's be clear, religious persecution is getting worse, not better. In 1914, Christians made up 28% of the Middle East. Today, that number is closer to 4%. That's heartbreaking. As we know all too well, Jesus Christ himself was persecuted and ultimately died for his religious beliefs. And now Christians in the Middle East are facing that same fate. We cannot and we must not stand by and allow this injustice to continue. So this Easter, in addition to your regular reflections, be sure and say a special prayer for our Christian brothers and sisters who are under attack in the Middle East and around the globe. And say a prayer for our country and our leaders, that we may realize the struggle and no longer sit idly by while individuals are attacked simply for their religious beliefs. So from my family to yours, happy Easter, and may God continue to bless the United States of America.